Hello YouTube, welcome from my stoop. I just want to hear whether that cuckoo is going to sing again. Beautiful, difficult to catch on video. I tried to do it but couldn't get it up till now. It's in that tree. Thank you. Right. Welcome. I've done a video about blending, but I received a question from one of the local guys on blending. So I thought I'll just give a recap on what I do. He asked, how do you start blending, and how do you do it and what do you do? So I'm definitely no master blender, far from it. I'm still struggling to get good blends, but I've managed to make one or two blends which I really thought afterwards is very nice. Unfortunately, one of our biggest drawbacks in South Africa in terms of blending is that we don't have the access to, red Virginia, yellow Virginia, Kentucky, Burley, plain single tobaccos. We get this cased slash treated tobaccos, or we get house blends from the local tobacconists. No, they're not tobacconists, tobacco shops. So that's difficult. So with that disclaimer, blending tips that I would like to give to our local guys is based on what you have and what you can get hold of, and then just play around. The first thing I would say is, try and get maybe samples of wood, of ground or earthiness, flowery fruit. Even if you have to go and pick some flowers or get some earthiness in a bowl, but get yourself some samples of typical flavors that you would like to to remind yourself of how does this exactly smell like. Peppery, get some pepper and just put it in a bowl, or some spiciness or spice or something like that. So that's a trick that I learned from wine and whiskey tasting, is to is to get your nose and your mind to recognize certain smells, because at the start it's not always very easy. So I would say is the first thing. The second thing is, if you don't like a tobacco which you tried or which you have, take the tobacco and smell it, and after you made your notes from smoking it, just make some notes of maybe dull, or need something of this or need something of that, things like that. And then you start with small batches. Take, for example, 10 or 20 grams of a tobacco, and then just start mixing in, as you think. So it's also important to classify your tobacco, which are Latakia VAs, which are vapors, which are burley. Make sure that you understand the tobacco that you have available to you, what they are and how they smell and what do they bring to a mix. Of course, you can buy Latakia and Perique and Virginia from the overseas stores, which, if you can do that, it would definitely help a lot. I've done it with some cigar leaf and other stuff, so that does work. Or you can just take a cigar and break it up and use that also. So So that would be the first. For example, let me show you. I've got a Margate, which I know is supposed to be very good tobacco, but personally it wasn't that enjoyable. So what I then did is I added some. So and make sure that you write down. So what I did is I added some burley. So I took 60 gram Margate, I added 15 gram burley, and I added 25 gram cordial and 50 gram Latakia. And then just either press it. It's a good thing if you can press it in a bench press, so that all the flavors and tobacco can mix together, or just leave it for 2 or 3 weeks in a jar, and then smell it. And then it to me, this smells perfect. It's the first time I've opened it since I've done it, so I'll definitely have to try this. This, for example, is pure Latakia. So you get your flavors, your smokiness. I'm not sure where this Latakia comes from, because it's not very strong. I assume it's not very strong, but yeah, that's Latakia. Then this, for example, is pirate cake. So a strong flavor that I get here is, for example, woodiness, nuttiness, kind of like a horse sty. What do you call that? Right. So then you decide. Right. So I'm going to take this one, and now I'm going to blend and add a little bit and see what do I get from that one. Let's try this Margate Burley cordial Latakia, which I've blended, and when you try it and you're not happy with that, then write down your notes and add some more. Try and think for yourself, what do I need there? Maybe some caramel, maybe some sweetness. Then add a little bit of black Cavendish, maybe, or I need some more smokiness. Then add Latakia. Sometimes I even blend different blends. Again, some people will say that is the worst that you can do. It might be so, because who wants to improve on a good blend? It's true. If GLPs has got an excellent blend, why would I change that? The only reason why I would change it is when I don't like it that much and I don't want to throw it away. So then I use that as maybe something to be blended with something else. And I must tell you, I've managed to take a tobacco which I didn't like that much, which I assume is an awesome blend for a lot of people, and a master blender blended it, but I didn't like it that much, and I added some other blends to it, and it was wonderful, and I smoked it and enjoyed it a lot. So it is possible to take a good blend which you might not like that much, and just modify it and add a little bit something to it. I had a vapor, for example, which I didn't like. I'm not very much into vapors, and I used that vapor and blended it with something else, and Latakia based tobaccos, and it came out perfect. Because some blends does need a little bit something extra. Lately, and I'm not sure why, because generally I do like London mixture from Daniel, but lately it's a little bit dull to me, so maybe it's my taste. So what I did then is take a little bit of that London mixture and added it to something else, and it came out perfect. So play around with these things and add a little bit and make your notes, and don't give up. I mean, I've done plenty of blends, and I haven't managed to do to make money out of it, or to make a lot of awesome blends, but every process, every time when you did one, you start learning, and you learn what do you need, what did you do wrong, and things like that. So let's taste this Margate, Burley, Cordial, and Latakia. It worked out well. It's a I get the burley, that nuttiness burley. I get some earthiness, which is quite nice. The Margate gave me a lot of tongue bite, so let's see if it gives me tongue bite. I do get the extra Latakia, which I added there, quite a lot of it. That's quite nice also. I do get some spiciness, almost a mentholish spiciness, and there's no casing in whatever I put in there. This one worked so far. I've blended another one. I'm not sure whether it's the same one which I gave a sample to someone in Pretoria, and he enjoyed it a lot. So you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's a trial and error process. Just don't give up. Just try and the smokiness is nice. I like the burley. I like the hint of burley that comes through also there, nutmeg nuttiness. So yeah, so guys, that's it. That's what I do, and as I said, I haven't managed to to make money or to sell or to brand myself like the master blenders, but I managed to make tobacco which I didn't like or which gave me tongue bite. Managed to change that and make it smokable and enjoyable. So and if you want to progress, obviously, and start doing better and better in terms of your blending skills, then it's a good idea to buy Cyprus Latakia, Syrian Latakia, Perique, Virginias, Burleys, maybe even Kentuckys, and then play around with those and add them. That I might I want to go that route still. Oh, another tip that I also had was your first or second blend. What you also can do is to try and follow a recipe. That's what I do when I change a recipe when I cook. I make the first one I'll do according to the recipe. The next one then I know what worked, and then I will start on the next one. I'll start changing things and adding more of this and less of that, and that's how I improvise on recipes. So that's also an idea, is to try and get a recipe. I do have one that someone shared with me, and he said I can share it. So get a recipe, share it, or start making it and then taste it and then start playing around with that one. So there are different ways of doing it, but yeah, it's possible. This one worked well. So I'm going to enjoy this now. thank you for watching, and please subscribe. And if you've got some recipes or things that you would like to share with us, please, give us your ideas. Let's help the local South African guys with limited resources to play around and to make some awesome blends. So yeah, please, if you don't mind sharing some of your recipes, please feel free and do it. This way we can, broaden the knowledge and experience for everyone, and to make it enjoyable. So thank you for watching, and enjoy your day and your week that's lying ahead of us. See you soon. Bye-bye.